Welcome to the Royal College of Physicians. We're really excited to show you our exhibition Catch Your Breath, all about breathing and breathlessness.
I'm Jane Macnaughton. I'm the lead researcher on the Life of Breath project, which is a joint project between Durham University and Bristol University, funded by the Wellcome Trust. The project intends to investigate the experience of breathlessness from a multidisciplinary perspective. It crosses a range of disciplines, including clinical medicine, philosophy, history, literary studies, anthropology, and working alongside people who have lived experience of the problem. And we do that in our research group on a regular basis. Having breathlessness means that you're relatively invisible in our society, and that's a very distressing thing to experience. The project has a major mission to try to open out understanding of this experience of living with breathlessness to the public so that they can understand it and get an insight into how it is lived.
Here at the Royal College of Physicians, we have over 500 years of history of helping to diagnose and treat people who are experiencing breathlessness, which is why we wanted to put on Catch Your Breath as an exhibition. Now, we realise that not everyone will be able to come here in person to see the exhibition, so we wanted to create this video to show you some of the highlights and some of our favourite or most fascinating objects from the exhibition. One of the most interesting objects in the exhibition is this sculpture that was made by the artist Jane Wilton. It's called Concern, and it's a 3D printed sculpture of the word concern as it would look after you speak that word in the air. Jane has captured the word because she wanted to show what breath looked like if it was a visible, tangible object that you could see and hold. This is really important for the Royal College of Physicians and for Catch Your Breath and the Life of Breath research team, because they wanted to highlight that breathing is an invisible force. It's something we all do, but people who experience breathlessness also feel themselves to be invisible. Breathing is something that allows us to do so many things: to communicate, talk, laugh, sing, cry, express emotions. It's vitally important. So imagine what it's like if you were unable to breathe as well as you can. These objects are from people who experience breathlessness. They have joined a group called Singing for Breathing, and the objects you see here are an illustration of the group getting together and talking about their breathlessness. The illustrations are a really important example of how people who experience breathlessness can get together and help each other deal with their symptoms. Catch Your Breath is not just about the bodily function of breathing. It is also about the air we breathe as well, which is something that we as human beings can affect, whether it's through smoking or air pollution. We have here some cigarettes. They are from the 1970s and they're Potter asthma cigarettes, and they were prescribed to people, or they could be bought over the counter as a way to treat asthma. Now, that's something that sounds incredible to us today because we know that smoking irritates the airwaves and is not a good treatment for asthma. And it's amazing to think as late as the 1970s they were still being given to people as a treatment for disease rather than the cause of it. This is in complete contrast to the other object we have in the exhibition about smoking, which is Smoky Sue Smokes for Two. She is a doll designed to educate people on the dangers of smoking whilst pregnant. You fill the jar of water and then you light a cigarette in Smoky Sue's mouth, and then the pump on the back, you make her smoke, which turns the water brown, which shows the effect it's having on the unborn fetus. It's designed to look hideous, it's designed to look shocking, and it's designed to educate people on the dangers of smoking whilst pregnant. Smoking remains the largest preventable cause of death in the world today. But something which is also becoming more and more of a concern for all of us, especially for public health, is air pollution. So we wanted to highlight the effects and the dangers of this invisible pollution of the particulates in the air and how it affects our lung health in cities like London today. And to do this, we have a donation of a cycle mask. The mask itself was used by a cyclist who commuted on the streets of London, and with it are two filters. One is absolutely clean and unused. The second one is the effects of pollution on the roads after only 3 months of use, and makes us think twice about the pollution from vehicles, from other sources that we're putting into the air in a city like London in the 21st century. For centuries and centuries, doctors have diagnosed and treated breathlessness as a symptom of disease. And in this collection, there are some objects that have been used in the treatment of breathlessness, some more effective than others. One of the most interesting and bizarre objects we have in here that was involved in the treatment of patients with shortness of breath is an enema, alongside a book by one of our fellows, Dr. Salmon. The enema would have been used to administer a particular recipe, which you can see in Dr. Salmon's book, up the rectum of the patient. This was a treatment used for many different diseases at the time, including shortness of breath. It may look odd to us today, but that was the medical practice at the time. Thankfully, doctors don't prescribe this treatment today. Doctors are always looking for new and better ways to treat breathlessness and lung disease, but this can sometimes be a struggle as the funding for respiratory disease is often quite low.
The project has a major mission to try to open out understanding of this experience of living with breathlessness to the public. But also, we're thrilled that this, as a medical humanities project, is here at the RCP, showing clinicians what this wider perspective on the problem can do for a clinical symptom.
Thank you for joining us to have a look at our exhibition Catch Your Breath here at the Royal College of Physicians. I hope you leave us today with a better understanding of how the air we breathe affects our health, how those who experience breathlessness manage their symptoms, and also what it's like for those doctors who treat and diagnose people with breathlessness, and how their research helps us to better understand these diseases that cause breathlessness.